Hello, everyone. Welcome to this conversation between myself. My name is Abby Bain, and I am the support coordinator for World Wisdom's Project. And I am here with my friend Missy Splittgerber, who lives in Fort Collins. World Wisdom's Project and the Fort Collins Interfaith Council are collaborating on a wisdom sharing video series in which we are asking people from the Northern Colorado community to basically share what life is like during COVID-19 and to share with us what the ways in which they are encountering the divine and the sacred and any wisdom that they would like to impart with the greater community. So again, today I have Missy Splittgerber. Missy, can you share with the community a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah, I have lived in Fort Collins for since 2005. Can't do math right now. 15 years. I've been married for 10 years, and I have two kiddos, a 5-year-old and almost 9-year-old. And I do a couple different things. I'm a musician. I work with a nonprofit for empowering women in town, and I mean, everything kind of looks different right now, but yeah, that's a little bit about me.
That's a little bit about you. Thank you. How would you describe COVID-19, this new lifestyle since I think March 26th is when the stay-at-home order went. So if you were to describe it in a few sentences, how would you say it's been for you?
I'd say it has been challenging. It's been hard. It's like kind of like moment to moment, day to day, sometimes how it changes. It's been very clarifying. Yeah, it's been very impactful in a lot of ways. Yeah, it's definitely been feeling challenging more so lately. I think just getting into the I'm not being clear, but like just how the depth of it. Yeah.
You had mentioned with me in a previous conversation that you feel like you're going through the stages of grief. Is that true?
Yes. Yeah, I feel like especially at the beginning, it was almost like not necessarily denial, but it just didn't really hit. It was like, wait, what's happening? And then just going through the grief and then anger and then trying to accept it and then bargain your way out of it. Yeah, like every stage of grief I feel like I've been through, and it kind of keeps going round and round.
I think many, if not all of us, can relate to that. Definitely.
For sure.
And I want to take a minute to say Missy is meeting with us late at night after her kids are in bed. So this is just so authentic of COVID life for you. You, like when we tried to set up a time, you had to wait till your husband got home and your kids were taken care of. So I want to thank you for taking these late night, precious alone time hours with us. Thank you.
Sure.
So many of us parents can relate to that. So if you had said that this has been a clarifying time when I asked you about how this has been for you, how you describe it. And there is this quote that I read from Father Casagram, if I'm saying his name correctly, and it reads, "Forced isolation is making us face our own thoughts, deal with our own feelings. We can run from these or we can learn from what they are telling us, both good and bad." End quote. And then it says, another thing I read said that this time of isolation can lead us inward if we allow it. Has that been your experience for you, that you have allowed it to bring you inward into things that have bubbled up that maybe many of us have filled with busyness or suppressed because we just don't want to deal with it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's always that kind of push and pull or ebb and flow of like when the discomfort comes up, like wanting to push it away or like numb it or separate or distract. And um, I definitely have been trying to lean into just like what is coming up and knowing like it's there for a reason. It's there to teach me something. It's there to bring movement or just to bring healing or to bring clarity. So I've tried to be very, very like intentional with like holding space, I guess, for whatever comes up and like trying to be really gentle with that and like just like just kind of ask myself, like ask my body, like ask like what do you need in this moment? Because like there's been weeks where it's been really debilitating, or there's been weeks where I've had lots of energy, or so having to just really be present with myself.
Mm. So in being present, like with yourself, you had mentioned again in a previous conversation with me that you have been mothering yourself and offering grace. And so can you explain a little bit what that looks like to mother yourself? You are a mother and you're practicing mothering yourself.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, I feel like, just to think about just how you would, like treat your child or treat a friend, and like that nurturing. And a lot of times we don't extend that to ourselves. And especially in the case of just like mothering constantly, like not really having like those
Yeah.
built-in breaks, I feel like I have really had to figure out how to like continue to like nurture myself. And so with like mothering myself, it's like, okay, are you feeding yourself? Or are you taking time to rest and to be still? Are you finding things that bring you comfort or that make you feel just, like cozy or feel calmed? Or, like, because I definitely have felt like even my inner child has like had there's been a lot of like just trauma or things that have like come up from the past where I've had to like sit with things a lot and just trying to be really gentle and tender towards those parts of myself.
Hmm. I think you said you had to sit with it, but you are choosing to sit with the hard things. So I want to applaud you for that because many people are not. They are doing whatever they can to ignore the things that are bubbling up. So I applaud you while you're mothering kids all day and your husband is at work that you are choosing to listen to those things and sit with them. So what are some practical ways in which you are mothering yourself?
So I think just like it comes down to like sometimes like really little things of putting on like some lotion or putting on like essential oils or like having good smells in my house. Like I'm very like sensory, and so having good smells, having good music on, um, trying to like feed myself, like you know, nourishing food, or just like um, taking time to pause. I'm like I can get really like wrapped up in just like what needs to be done, and like can forget to just like pause and be like check in. So like trying to really be more embodied in my days and just be like, okay, what do you need right now? And because I'm always, attending to like the needs of my kids. And
Mm-hmm.
also like in that same moment being like, okay, I'm feeding my kids. So that means I should probably feed myself too.
Yeah.
Like we kind of forget where it's like, oh yeah. Um, so yeah, I feel like it comes down to just meeting like those essential basic needs.
Mm. So I think my last question is going to be, I think we could talk forever, but for brevity's sake, what are some ways in which you feel like you are encountering the sacred, the divine God during this this new way of life?
So I feel like kind of to go along with sitting with ourselves is this idea that our humanity is wrapped up with the divine. I think sometimes we deny our humanity, or we deny our experiences, and therefore I feel like we deny the like sacred and divine within us. So I feel like just entering into like a space of more integration and embodiment. Like there's a quote of from Sumit Kid, where she says, "The deeper we go into our own individual journey, the more likely we are to hit the universal." And it's kind of this strange counterintuitive idea of like going inward, you're going to hit like what is universal, or like you're going to hit what is sacred. And so this idea of expansion and then integration has been really big for me, of bringing all the pieces back, like of myself, of my history, my story, my ancestors, the sacred, like just having all those pieces and bringing them back together.
So would you say this quarantine has allowed more time and space to do that?
I think it's yes, but it's still like a choice, I think. Because it's easy to fill it up. Like, and I mean, it's like every night, like, well, am I going to watch Netflix, or am I going to maybe read this book? And it's all about capacity. Like, I feel like we just have to be so, again, tender with ourselves and be like, what do I need in this moment? What am I capable of? Like, but I think just I think we have more of an opportunity, I guess, right now to lean into that. And it does I think there is way more time, only because like we get to choose, like not everybody, but it can be really clarifying with like what matters to me. Like, what do I want to put my energy towards? So yeah, I think just like an attunement with our soul, like trying to kind of come deeper into like that kind of gut knowing of like, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what makes me feel alive or come alive.
That's so good. And this through line I'm hearing, at least for my heart and soul, is just having grace and mothering myself. That just strikes like every chord in my being. And it's beautiful. I'm going to sit with that and ask myself what that looks like as a mom to kids during this time. So thank you. And I'm just going to ask you some rapid fire questions to end this series. What is your favorite food right now?
Oh man, I've been doing like little charcuterie boards. I was like at the park last night for like a meditation thing, and like we were all like distanced and everything, but like I had like my like salami and goat cheese and figs, and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just living my best life here.
Lunchable. That's so good. Okay, what book are you reading right
now? I just actually started oh gosh, it's Maya Angelou's why does the caged bird sing? I was like, what is this? Yeah.
Good. Okay, what is your go-to quarantine song?
Oh gosh. Oh man, anything. I feel like this song that just came into my head was this song called When by I think is J Rock, but it's just hip hop, like just anything with like a good beat.
Sure. And then what are you most looking forward to when this quarantine ends?
Oh, just being close to people. I just realized like that's all. Like I don't even care if I can like go to restaurants or do
Mm,
activities and things. Just like being in the presence of people, being able to like, you know, touch one another again. Um, yeah, just being with my people.
being with your people. Well, Missy, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
joining us in these late hours of the evening. And your words definitely spoke to me, and I know they're going to speak to our listeners. So we really appreciate it. And health and peace to your family during this time.
You too, Abby. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much.